Greetings, folks. From St. Louis, I'm going to do a sound check of my latest family member. It's a 5E3 Deluxe with a 16 ohm output transformer going into two 59 Jensen P10Q speakers that were reconed by Theo up there at Midwest Speakers, and Bill Odell donated some cones, some original cones, so these speakers sound fantastic. I'm going to be using a 150 Gibson that I recently restored in another video, just to noodle around a bit. I do touch on some progress on the cabinet. It's the first time I put tweed on a cabinet. I did a finger jointed pine cabinet here, and it's my first tweed job, so it's a little rough, and I don't really care. You know, I learned a lot from that, making the mistakes I made. In fact, I learned so much from my mistakes, I'm thinking seriously about making a few more. Anyways, so if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and watch the video. There's going to be the sound test at the end of the video. Alrighty. Well, here we are in St. Louis, and I've been working woodworking all summer. Haven't done a lot of amplifier stuff, but here's a project. I'm going to make a deluxe. Not a deluxe reverb, a late 50s deluxe. This was donated by my pal Bill. I've already mounted this transformer. The transformer that came with this is out of an organ. Bill wasn't sure. Transformer that came with this output transformer was only 16 ohms, and I wanted some more options, so I had this transformer. I can't remember what it's from. I think this was an organ transformer. Yeah, it was, that my buddy Chewie sent me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this like this, or yeah, like this. The controls on top. The tubes are going to be coming out the bottom here, down here, not here, because I don't want to just jam everything in here and have a standing amplifier. I want to have this hanging in a cabinet. So, and I've got this mounted in there already, this output transformer. It's got 8 and 16 ohm wires, and we got a nice power transformer over here that's got some really nice heavy duty, it's got actually 2 filament windings, and yeah, so I've got them all labeled. Checked them all out. Here's your high voltage. Here's your 2 filaments right here. This is going to be your primary wires here. Here's your 5 volt. And then this, I got to double check this. This was I labeled this. This was on the pin 7 of an EL34. I'm going to check that out. I forget exactly what that is. It looks like it might be, well, I'm not sure. I'm going to check it out. I forget what pin 7 is on an EL84. So I'll check that out, figure that out, but I probably don't need it. I don't think it's a bias tap. Be cool if it was, but I don't think it is. So anyways, and then we got our output transformer. We got a 16 and 8 ohm, and our plates are over here. So I got it all down together. I'm going to remove these, and I'm just going to cover these up here, and I'm going to mount all my components here on some kind of breadboard. Power supply is going to go here. All the tubes are going to go down along here. They should have plenty of room here for once. Alrighty. Alright, so here's what I've got so far. I've determined this is going to be a 210 Deluxe in a luxurious repurposed Fender Piette column that I cut down with 210s. That's going to be the front panel, and that's going to be the back panel with the transformers poking out that way. And I've got this breadboard that I got from, I just don't remember. I'm going to pluck some of these leads out of here, or turrets, and I've already picked out all the components for it. So yeah, looking pretty good so far. Alrighty, got all the holes drilled front and back. I'm gonna have 4 inputs like the original Deluxe, only not in a, this one's kind of big, so I got the luxury of quite a bit of room here. Yeah, so 4 inputs, like I'll never need them, but I can bridge them pretty cool. Volume, tone. Here we're gonna have the fuse switch, pilot light, nice. And then on the back, we got our AC going in there. We got our 5Y3, 2 6V6s, input, speaker output here. And because I'm never going to use an extension speaker, maybe I'll put another one, but no, I usually don't want to do that. And then 12AY, 12AX. So it'll be a nice little Deluxe in a nice kind of a largish cabinet. And then we got ventilation holes back here. Rivet. So I'm repurposing the mounting brackets that were over here for screwing it down to, I'm just repurposing them to strengthen this chassis so that it will be able to better able support the weight hanging down the way I'm going to have it. Alright, here's progress on the chassis. I got some worthless fiat currency in here, plugging up the holes where tubes, etc. used to be. A couple of €2 coins and some Federal Reserve coins here. And now I'm going to start installing the tube sockets, cord, etc. Alrighty. Got my little terminal strips installed on this side, and I'm going to put a couple over in here, smaller ones, just a little right here for my bias. And I've got this this came out of a signal generator or something. It's a copper box, and I'm going to put it under here like Fender does. I'm going to put the 3 filter caps in there. It's not a dog house, it's more like a puppy house, but I think it's going to be perfect for saving room and not getting this over here so cluttered, and alright, we'll see how that works out. Alrighty, so I've got the power transformer wires mostly wired up. Well, actually all wired up, so it's hard to see, but here's your hot coming in here, going from here to the power switch and then to the transformer. The other side of the white one, the white wire is going in and to the transformer. And I've got the 6 volt going to the light, and I made a virtual center tap there with some really closely matched 100 ohm resistors, and got the high power here going to the rectifier tube, and then the 5 volt going to here. So now I'm making sure that all the wires that I think this is an extra filament winding here, so I'm just going to tuck this away. And I haven't quite figured this one out. I think this is for linear, ultra linear setting on an amp or something like that there. But I'm going to just plug it in to my variac and current limiter right now and see if I got any shorts or any weirdness. What should happen is this red light over here should turn on. That's about it. And then I can check other voltages. These switch should be on, working on and off and all that. All right. Okay, so here I go. I got the switch on. I've got my AC cord plugged into my crazy current limiter, and the current limiter is plugged into my crazy variac. And actually I got a crazier one. Now I'm going to flick this switch. It's turned completely off. And I'm just going to kind of gradually turn it up and make sure the bulb isn't glowing. So no bulb glowing. I'm going up to about 120-ish. And my light's on. Switch works. Okay. Looks like everything's good so far. The AC is wired correctly. I'm going to take a little pause for a damn good cause. I'm getting thirsty. Okay, here's the puppy right before it goes into the puppy house. Okay, let's review what this little puppy does. So the red wire goes in from the rectum fryer tube, and it goes to the first 22 UF filter cap, and then it's filtered through this 4.7 5K. On the other side, the second one, this one here, is the second 22 UF, and then at that junction on the other side of that 22K resistor is the third one, which is the white. The yellow one is the middle juncture right there. The white one is that juncture right there, and here's your ground here, grounding them all. So that's what the puppy house does. The puppy house, nice, huh? And there's the puppy house, enjoying its nestlage. Now to hook up the wires. Alrighty, well, I've got this thing cooking. My nice 5Y3 here, and I measured the red voltage, and that's at 419. The yellow one's 417, and then this one is down around 390, something like that. So my power supply is freaking good to go here. Nice, huh? I like the little puppy house. Worked out pretty well so far. All right, next up, I'm gonna start doing all this good stuff here. All right, make sure when you do this, you drain the freaking caps. One way to drain the caps slowly is you just simply turn the power off at the variac and leave the power on here, and that will let the caps drain slowly. So just be careful, because as Uncle Ugg, as Uncle Doug would say, the last thing you want to do is die. Pretty zen, Doug. And a word to the wise, I do have the output transformer hooked up also where it's supposed to go, and these wires right here are hot as motor scooters, so don't touch them. Those are supposed to go to the plates of the power tubes. Alrighty. Alright, here's some progress. It's slow going when you're going point to point in uncharted territory. So yeah, I got all the input jacks wired, and just working my way over on the preamp. Okay, so I've got what I think is a finished preamp, and also the power tubes are wired up, and I'm just starting on the heater wires, and ain't this a glorious mess. Just doing the heater wires, and I'm going to fire this sucker up. Well, I did suffer a little setback. Tube socket failure. The little tab broke off there, so I got to hunt down another tube socket and wire this in. Rats! I was getting excited, but one thing I learned about working on guitars and tube amps, if you're in a hurry, in a fever to get it done, just take a break. Because you always, well, not always, but oftentimes you'll regret it. Okay, I'm back where I started. Got a new tube socket in there, and now I'm going to continue with the heater wires. Okay, I've got all the wires wired up, no tubes plugged in, and it's turned on and everything's running and no shorts. So now I'm going to plug in a rectum fryer tube and see if it gets some juice going on here. Okay, so now I'm going to plug in the rectum fryer tube and crank up the variac. Here I go. So far, got a little glow in the light, but no glow from my current limiter. So that's good. That means there's no dead shorts. I'm going to crank it all the way up to 120 or so. And no freaking glow from my current limiter. So, and it looks like my rectifier tube is lighting up. You probably can't see that. So I'm just going to call it for now and make some voltage measurements, make sure everything's good, and pick out some tubes. Alright, so I got everything hooked up through my signal generator and everything, and I was running it, and it sounded like beep. So I was poking around, and I noticed two things. First of all, I don't know if you can see this. This wasn't connected to the grid. It's a half of the phase inverter. And also, even if it was, it would still be sounding like boop, because that's broken. You know, these amp builds, 90% of the time when something goes wrong or is not working, it's a wiring error when you first fire them up. LA wiring error Jones. Okay, so before I show you what the latest problem is here. I'm going to show you the solution. So I, alas, determined that this output transformer here is defective. Using my oscilloscope, I'll show you how, but I verified it with just tacking this in. Just tacking this in. Be careful when you do this, if you do this, folks, because there's some hot juice here. They label that red for a reason. But the other ones are also hot, so I'll backtrack and show you what was going on here. So when I first fired this bad boy up, I was only getting a very, very weak signal, and using my oscilloscope, I traced it back from the outputs here on these tubes. I traced it back, getting no signal. I was getting plenty of signal here, so I traced the signal back, and when I got on the other side of this phase inverter, I found out that there was plenty of sound, but over here there was no sound at all. And I found out that this cap right here was not connected on. I hadn't run a wire from here. This wire here was missing, so I put that in there. I got a signal going, and you know, nice and strong. Plugged the guitar in, and it's really just not really distorted, but kind of this odd harmonic, just sounding like crap. And so now I traced it to, I started here, so let me just give it a little sound here. So I got a nice signal going from here, very nice and even, and it was very nice through until I get to the plates of the tubes. And I noticed this, if you look here, this is I'll click it to this plate and adjust it. I'll adjust the amplitude here. Sorry. And look at that. That's the distortion I'm hearing. But I noticed one thing. You see how high that's, you know, how strong that signal is there? So look at that. And then I'm going to switch plates here to the other plate. And look at that. It's not as strong. So something's going on with the transformer here. I don't know what, the output transformer. Because when I hooked this one in, now I get a nice clean guitar sound. So I'm going to put a different output transformer in there and continue on as if nothing happened. Once again, do not try this at home. I've been testing output transformers to see actually which one I like. And I got this big honking bass speaker output transformer. I got this 16 ohm Leslie, and I got this other one that came out of something, I don't know what. And this one here I like the least. I've just been kind of clipping them in to my shitty shop speaker. This one is not bad. This one I like. I just want to do a filament, I want to do a wind ratio on this to make sure of the actual ohmage in the speakers that I'm going to end up with this. But so far this is good. It's got a couple of weird stray wires that were hooked up to the cathodes of the power tubes. They were 6v6s. I just got to test this, see what the correct speaker impedance is going to be. So this one's coming out. but not until I determine which one's going in. All right, carry on. All right, I did a little quick algebra per Uncle Doug, and I found that this big transformer here, which I thought was no good, because I had it hooked up wrong, but it is good, with a fairly low plate voltage, it's going to be around a 4 ohm speaker, maybe like 3 point something, or I can use the 16 ohm. I'm going to try this. This is a nice big transformer, and I'm going to go with 2 8 ohm speakers. All right, well, after much gnashing of hair and tearing of teeth, I have the new Leslie 16 ohm output transformer mounted. Now I have to do the wiring and give it another trial run. Okay, I've got the new output transformer wired up. I have the plates just tacked on there in case it squeals like a pig. Then you flip those. Anyways, I got it plugged into my current limiter and my variac. Let's crank it up and see what happens. Also have my signal generator generating a signal here. Look. Nice and strong. Okay. Nice and clean and strong. I'm going to plug a guitar in and play it for a little bit, see what it sounds like. Okay. And remember, it's plugged into the glowing light, so if anything...
Oh my gosh, I don't have that on the camera. Okay. So is it going to glow?
No.
Okay. Oh.
See, it sounds good now.
It's loud as hell.
It's the transformer.
Ooh, I better get far away. It's going to be really loud.
What?
Nothing.
That's a amp supposed to sound like. That transformer's faulty. The one I got from the Hammond organ. So I'll put this one in there. Yeah. Just a little bit of more progress on my 210 Deluxe. I'm not going to detail all the process of making a cabinet. I'm just showing a quick little progress report here. Uncle Doug does a great job showing how to build a cabinet from scratch. But this is just some progress. It's going to stand upright like this. There's going to be a 10 here and a 10 here. Sorry, there's going to be a 10 here and a 10 here. And the head's going to be here. Tweed style. Alrighty. Here's a rare inside shot of the 210 Deluxe cabinet being built. Yeah, alright. So what they did, and what I'm doing, you know, they notch out a spot, and then they put a plywood narrow, that's the narrow panel, glued on. I'm going to put a few screws in there too, but there's the notch. And I did it by hand, planed it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to cover this with black, recycled 60s black Tolex. And, you know, so it's going to be nice when it's done, I predict. And I'm leaving my workbench in a complete mess because I'm not done with the cabinet. And so after I do the panels, I'm going to do the round over with my trusty birthday present my sweetie gave me many years ago, my Rockler router. Sorry, not Rockler, Porter cable. Yeah, my Porter cable router with the crappy falling apart handles. But oh well, it still works pretty good. We're going to do a nice round over. There's a nice view of St. Louis alley that Schweitzer is claims Schweitzer claims she's keeping these alleys clean. Okay, back to the task at hand. Alrighty. Well, it's a beautiful sawdusty day here in St. Louis. And I've got my super cabinet ready for a little bit of filler. Just a couple of spots. I am going to black Tolex it, so it doesn't have to be super pretty. But I want it nice and smooth surface when I glue the Tolex down. Alrighty, so we're progressing along with my 210 Deluxe. And I've got a couple of really nice 59 P10Qs waiting on deck here. Progress. Got these mounted nicely on the baffle. Alright. Yep, I know what you're thinking. How come you didn't paint it black all the way on both sides? Well, the answer is really simple. I found these really reasonable at the yard sale. Some Art Deco era sheet music. I'm going to wallpaper the inside of this amp with stuff like that. Pretty cool, huh? Alrighty, here's my grill speaker baffle with the grill cloth on it, and that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool. This is why L.A. Jones blues amps are different than others. Every one is a one-of-a-kind amp. And now for the cabinet. Pretty neat. Just doing a little trial fitting of the front baffle with my nice 59 speakers in there and all nicely Art Deco lined. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I don't know about you, but this looks like it's a nice looking blanket. And there you go, my first tweed job. Not too bad for the first time. Yeah, I like it. You know, I've seen worse. Anyway, there it goes. I'm ready to put the chassis in and speaker baffle. All right, I've got this cabinet almost all done. I got the handle on there. I got the speakers wired in series. I got the feet. And I'm ready to mount the chassis in there and wire up a jack. All right, here it is. All hooked up, ready for a sound test. All right, so I'm just gonna noodle about a little bit here. I've only got it up like, I don't know, a quarter of the way, not even halfway. It's loud. If you know, and of course I got the fluorescent lights overhead. If you want to hear this thing in action, come on out. We're going to be backing up the great R.J. Michaud this summer, 2023. He's going to be using either this amp or one of my other Deluxe with the 112. So this one will be getting rung out pretty good this May. All right, so here we go. Sorry for the buzz. You know, I got the demo right under the fluorescent light. This is the bright channel with the tone all the way up, and it's really only up about a quarter way. This is a loud ass amp. All right, well, that's about it for this project. Welcome to the family. It sure sounds good to me, and hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe. I need all the amens I can get. Thanks. See you down the road a piece. And thanks for watching. Hope this helps.